We did it. 10,000 subscribers on our little channel. I'm so grateful for all of you guys. Words can't express how I appreciate every single one of you for coming by and leaving your likes and your comments and subscribing to this channel. 10,000 is a lot of people, and I'm in so much awe for the community that we are starting to build. I'm so proud of you guys because every time that I read your comments, and I do every day, I try to respond to everyone, but everyone is so genuinely just kind and supportive, and I truly cannot do this without you guys. Making the content is just half of the work, and although it is a lot of work, once it's on YouTube, it's completely up to you guys at that point if you enjoy it or not. And it's so heartwarming seeing how much you guys have been enjoying my last few videos. So we're doing a bit of a different video today to celebrate hitting our very exciting milestone. I just wanted to do sort of a sit down and chill. I've got my coffee here with me and just answer some questions from you guys. By the way, hey, my name is Kat. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you so much for joining. If you're here for my usual gaming content, I will be resuming next week. I'll be putting up 2 videos, so please look out for that. Hopefully this helps you get to know me a little bit better, and yeah, grab your hot drink of choice and blanket, and let's get started. So I've got my phone here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick questions randomly. If I'm seeing some of you ask the same questions as well, I will obviously just kind of put it together and answer it all in one. So the first question is, what features do you want to see added on the Switch now or in the future? Really good question. Thank you for that. So I would really love to see themes added to the Nintendo Switch. The Switch is already 3 years old, and if you've seen any of my videos that features the Nintendo Switch, you probably noticed that I love customizing it with different shells. I really enjoy customizing my tech, and I would love if I could extend that customization to the UI of my Switch as well. Since we've already seen them do way better, like on the 3DS for example, I don't see why they can't extend that to the Nintendo Switch. The second one would have to be a better eShop on the Switch. The browsability, is that a word? Browsability, your ability to browse on the Nintendo eShop for the Switch is awful, in my opinion. Besides, you know, the featured games that are on the front page, it's quite hard to find much else. You know, there's hundreds if not thousands of games that are on the eShop. So for me to be able to find new games, I personally have to rely on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter to discover titles that I otherwise wouldn't know to search for in the eShop. So thank you for the question. Next question is actually from the same person, but I'll just address it really quickly. He's asking if we are possibly doing a Discord server down the road, and yes, the short answer is yes. I don't know when yet. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it, and I would love to find people to help me manage it as well, and just sort of figuring out how I'm going to make it accessible for everybody. I'm so proud of our growing community so far, being incredibly kind and positive and so willing to help other people in the comment section. I want to make sure that I'm filling the Discord with good people and good vibes. So very soon though, hopefully. Thank you for the question. Next question is, how do you record or share your gameplay on YouTube? Very good question. I have a PC which has an Elgato HD 60 Pro, I believe is what it's called. I'll have it somewhere on the screen. I just upgraded from the really old Elgato HD, which I was using previously. So you'll need some sort of game capture device. There are different brands and different price ranges that are available to you, and a computer to be able to record the gameplay through a system, and I use Streamlabs OBS for that. A few of you actually asked that, so thank you for asking. I'm gonna answer this next one because it sort of connects to the last question, but it asks, could we possibly see a video of what your PC specs are or your setup? Yes, absolutely. This is actually a video that I'm already working on. I moved not super long ago, so my PC setup and sort of gaming area is very much a work in progress. So I'm just trying to get it to a point that I am able to share without it being too cluttered. I do want to keep it very realistic as well and show how it functions on my day-to-day, but I'm working on a video to do a PC/desk setup tour thing for sure. So please keep an eye out on that. Thank you for the question. When is your birthday? Wish to know your zodiac sign. PS, you sort of favor a Taurus, but I've been wrong before. So you actually got it right, and that's amazing. I am a Taurus. I'm a May baby. I'm very curious to know what gave away that I'm a Taurus, so thank you for the question. What are some of your favorite Pokemon? Great question. I am very biased toward Kanto region Pokemon, and most specifically the Kanto starter. So my boy or girl, Charmander would have to be one of my all-time favorites. I grew up watching the anime and I love playing the original games as well, from Pokemon Yellow to Fire Red, and recently again the Let's Go Pikachu on Nintendo Switch. I love being able to revisit the Kanto region anytime that I can, so Charmander. I also really like Mew and Lucario. What was your first game console? It was a silver Game Boy Advance SP. I got it for one of my birthdays and I absolutely cherished that thing. I so regret that I used to sell my old handhelds, and I've been spending my adult life trying to buy them all back. I probably wouldn't be this much into handheld gaming if I wasn't gifted that for my birthday. It's still one of my most favorite consoles to this day, and I do still play Game Boy Advance games to this day. What is your favorite genre of games? I don't know if you would call it a genre necessarily, but I just did a video on cozy games, so I guess games that sort of fit into that category for me. I realize that cozy means something different for everyone. I guess I would say for the most part I do really like farming sims, any sort of simulation games, and action RPGs. Do you prefer handheld or TV mode on the Switch? Handheld mode. I very rarely dock my Switch on the TV. Okay, the next one says, I'd love to know how your Animal Crossing New Horizons island is looking and maybe give some tips of how you've been taking care of it. Thank you for the comment. How is it looking? I am also planning to do an island tour sometime in the future. I've completely deconstructed my island. So right now it's a complete mess because I just wasn't feeling how everything was situated anymore, and there were so many new items from the recent updates that I want to integrate into my island. So I'm sort of just doing some housekeeping and remodeling, and I'd absolutely love to do an island tour and ask for some tips on how I'm taking care of it. Just, you know, checking in once in a while. I do go through periods where I don't play with it as much as I did when it first released. Sometimes I would go weeks without checking in on my island at all, but I would say with a game like Animal Crossing, definitely feel free to play it however you want. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to play it, so just do it how you enjoy. Thank you for the question. What kind of music do you listen to? What are some of your favorite artists? So, great question. Thank you for asking. Just like gaming, I listen to all sorts of genres. I love listening to different eras as well, but if I'd have to choose a go-to, I definitely gravitate toward the 1950s, 60s sort of crooner music and soft rock or blues music, I guess. So some popular ones, of course, being Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. I love the Beatles, Elvis, that type of music. But modern day artists, I'm really enjoying listening to Louis Capaldi and older Chance the Rapper music lately. But again, it changes depending on the mood and time I listen to everything. How did you come up with a name for your channel? Another good question. When I was starting my channel, I was trying to come up with names that were very sort of, I guess, descriptive of who I am as a gamer. And it's very basic, I know, but I'm a casual gamer in many different ways. To me, what a casual gamer is someone who isn't necessarily the best at playing games. Not, you know, that sounds really bad, but just a casual player. You know, I'm not a pro player by any means. I love sort of more laid back, relaxing games. I play very infrequently, probably not as often as it might seem, especially having a gaming channel and collecting a number of games and systems. I love collecting just as much as I enjoy playing. I think that it suits the spirit of the channel as well, with it being very laid back and chill and all of that. So of course it wouldn't be my video if my camera didn't die in the middle of filming, but we are back now and we're going to move on to the questions that we got from Instagram. Thank you again to everyone that submitted questions. If you're not following me on there, by the way, here is my Instagram. So a few of you actually asked why I started my channel, what got me into content creation. So really good question again. Thank you for everyone that asked. I actually have been watching YouTube since YouTube started, and I've wanted a channel for as long as I can remember. Besides that, I'm also really interested in photography and videography. I really enjoy the video editing process and I'm enjoying learning more about it and, you know, improving my skills on that. And obviously gaming is a passion of mine as well. I've been playing games since I was like 3 or 4. So combining that interest and my passion for gaming was something that I've wanted to do for a while, to start a channel. As for my why, my motivation behind actually beginning the channel and starting to upload videos, I just really wanted a space where I can share my passion and excitement for gaming. I don't personally have a lot of gamer friends in real life. I don't know too many people that are into video gaming. So this channel definitely serves as like an outlet to be able to share that. And of course it serves as a creative outlet as well for myself. Hopefully that sort of answers your question. But thank you for those that asked. What got you into gaming? Another really good question. My dad definitely got me into gaming. So him and my mom actually were a bit of gamers in their time. They played games like Contra, Pac-Man, Legend of Kage, Mickey's Mousecapade, 1942, all those really cool, fun, classic NES titles. So I sort of witnessed him playing games. I think the very first game that I played is Mario and Luigi on his work computer at the time, on like MS-DOS. Anyone remember MS-DOS still? I just couldn't remember a time when I wasn't gaming. I think I was 3 or 4 when I first played. I mean, I probably wasn't doing much playing. I think I was just smashing keys, but you know, I remember it being really fun, and obviously I was hooked in some way, and I'm still gaming today. Contra also happens to be my dad's favorite game, and we actually still play it together to this day. So I think that that's kind of, you know, kind of fun, and I am not so good at it, but I love watching my mom play Pac-Man and Tetris as well. So what is the number one game that you keep going back to since your first game? It would have to be, if not the Pokemon series, definitely Golden Sun 1 and Golden Sun 2, which is the Lost Age. I love Golden Sun. I can't count the number of times that I've replayed that. I love revisiting it as much as I can, and it's actually their 20th anniversary this year in 2021, and I'm so hoping that Nintendo would do something with the franchise again. They released a third game on the DS called The Dark Dawn, but we haven't really heard much from the creators since then, so I don't know. I'm hoping that they would either bring the originals over to the Switch as a remaster, or I wouldn't be opposed to a fourth game. Anything they decide to do with the game, I'm up for it. How do you keep up with your backlog? Another good question. The short answer is that I guess I don't. I'm very embarrassed to admit that, but it's the truth. Like I think I mentioned in a previous question, I am a collector as much as I am a gamer. I don't have a huge impressive collection like I see other people have, but I do try to pick up a lot of the games that I'm interested in playing eventually, keeping up with that along with new releases that I'm also very excited to play when they come out. It gets to be a little challenging. I also tend to play like 3 to 4 games at a time just because I get bored very easily. I don't know if it's like ADD or I love games. So if I stuck to like a couple games at a time, I would probably be able to finish games quicker, but I don't. I guess if you're just looking for a tip on how to keep up with your backlog, I would say try to finish games first before buying the next one, or stick to 1 to 2 at a time so you're actually putting in all your hours into those games to be able to finish it sooner rather than having your hours spread across multiple games like what I do, because then it takes me infinitely longer to finish every single game since, you know, my attention and my hours are spread, if that makes sense. What is your favorite game of all time? It would have to be, again, Golden Sun. I think that game was just so memorable for me because I played it on my Game Boy Advance, which was my first console, and I have just really good memories with that game. I remember it was my very first RPG and I was blown away by the graphics. I was blown away by the story, the music, the characters, and I just remember playing on this tiny screen with my sister. You know, we would hide under the covers from my parents because I was quite young, and we would play it through the night and they'd always check on if we were already sleeping, so we would shut the screen, close really quick and hide under the covers, and then as soon as they walk away we're like, okay, turn it back on, let's continue playing the game. So I think it just holds a lot of nice, you know, childhood memories as well for me. So thank you for the question. Which is your favorite RPG game on the Switch? So I don't know if it counts as an RPG, but Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for sure. One that is sort of inspired by more classic RPGs with the story, the mechanics, and especially the look is Octopath Traveler. I think that it's such a beautiful game. The art style is incredible. I love the battle system as well, and I think that a lot of people will enjoy it if you haven't tried it already. What 5 games are you currently playing? So I'm playing Genshin Impact a lot lately. I actually started my playthrough when it first released a few months ago, but then I sort of fell off it because of all the new releases that came after. But I started replaying it again a couple weeks ago, and I'm so hooked. So anyone that plays the game and has some tips for me, feel free to leave it down below. I'm also still playing Atelier Ryza 2, which I did a first hour first impressions of in this channel. Links will be somewhere in the cards. I'm also playing Immortals Phoenix Rising. For those that haven't played it, I highly recommend that you check it out. If you're into open world games, I would describe it as a mix of Assassin's Creed sort of gameplay with the Breath of the Wild visuals, but I'm really enjoying the story. It's just so lighthearted and humorous how they do the narration between Zeus and Prometheus, and obviously if you're into the whole Greek mythology theme, the theme is based on that. I'm playing Stardew Valley. They just dropped the 1.5 update on the Nintendo Switch and other consoles. Finally, it has been out on the PC for a week or so, a couple weeks, but I was waiting for the Switch update because I like playing it on my Switch, and I'm playing Animal Crossing. Of course, I think that'll always be a staple now, no matter what game I'm playing. I love having it in between more heavy story-driven games. Where do you shop for all the cool joycons that you have? Thank you for the question. I actually make them. So I buy the shells from a company called Extreme Rate through Amazon Canada, and I do the shell swap myself. A highly requested video is actually how I do my Joy-Con shell swap and also how I changed my Nintendo Switch Lite shell. So that is an upcoming video. Please keep an eye out on that if you're interested. Do you have any other job besides being a content creator? Thank you for the question. I'm very flattered that you think content creation is my job. I feel like I'm still very new to it and I'm learning as I go. Content creation as of right now is just a hobby for me. It's a creative outlet that I like to do after I'm done my main job. If YouTube or content creation eventually gets to a point that it'll allow me to have it as my full-time job, I'm not entirely opposed to it because I do really enjoy it. But as of right now, I do have another job, which is running and owning my own business, and content creation is just for fun. So thank you for the question. I think we've got one last one. It asks, if you can forget a game and play it all over again, which one would it be? Ooh, really good question. Probably Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't want to spoil anything for, those that haven't played the game yet, but I have no words. I'm gonna try to explain this without, giving much of the story away, but eventually in the story, something happens to your character that you can't undo. There's no way to prevent it or, reverse what is happening, I guess. If I knew that this was coming up, I definitely would have taken my time more, just savored the game, but I was having so much fun playing it that I was playing it non-stop and I finished it so fast. Yes, if I can forget a game and replay it, it would definitely be Red Dead Redemption 2. So that is actually the last question that I picked out for today. This has been really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. Thank you to everyone that submitted a question, and if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Thank you so much again for helping me reach this 10,000 subscriber milestone, and I can't wait to make more videos for you guys to enjoy. If you have any ideas or requests as to what you may want to see from this channel in the future, definitely leave them down below, or if you just want to say hey. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.